All right, so I'm gonna try and bust out a quick job today. A buddy of mine bought this bike from somebody who was already building it, and he brought it to me to kind of get it finished up. I started messing with it, looking at it, and I had this little $20 Amazon borescope camera that hooks up to your iPhone. So I stuck that down in the cylinder just to check it out, you know. Didn't think I'd find anything because the outside of the motor looked brand new. I thought it was brand new, honestly. And, you know, I saw some rust in there, like it had been sitting, some water got in there, there's some scoring on the cylinders, so top end's coming off. We're gonna redo the top end today and get it back together. We're supposed to do a bunch of other stuff on this, but he needs it back for something. I don't know, maybe a photo shoot or something. So I'm gonna get the top end done, put it back together, and then he'll bring it back later and we'll finish it up, get it running, riding, all that stuff. Yeah, here's the bike. It's a Shovelhead. It's like an S&S Shovelhead motor. And what the guy did is, it's actually a used motor. We thought it was brand new. But he just painted the whole motor with silver, like, spray paint. So everything looked brand new. But then we got to looking and there's like some nuts that are like spray painted and all that. So be careful what you're buying. You know, buy one of those little cameras and check it out before you know, get yourself into some mess. But other than that, the bike's pretty cool. It's got some really cool molding. The tank's welded in and molded. Oil tank too. Hopefully none of that leaks, but that's for a different day. Yeah, luckily the whole bottom end felt tight and good, so we're not gonna get any deeper than we have to. But yeah, these cylinders just kinda, there's some scoring down in there. They're just no good. And also when I pulled the rocker boxes off, it's like he had like sand blasted it or something. There's a ton of sand in there. So we're gonna pull all that apart, clean it, check everything, make sure that's all good. But first order businesses, we're gonna vapor blast just these gasket surfaces, clean all this up, get this carbon ring taken out of here. And then we're only going 10 over, so I think we're just gonna hone it. We're not gonna bore it. We're just gonna put it on the sun and hone back there and just take about 10 thou off. And yeah, should be good. Yeah, here's our Vapor Honing Technologies vapor blaster. It uses water and glass bead, and it just does a great job, leaves a nice finish. Doesn't really harm any of the metal on anything. Great machine, you know. I love it, so we're gonna stick them in here and blast them up, clean them up. I'm not gonna blast them entirely because the paint's pretty nice on them. So I don't really think I need to repaint them. So we're just gonna blast the tops and the bottom gasket surfaces. Also, check this out. These just came in. Super stoked to open these. The guys over at Acme Tools hooked us up with some Milwaukee products to use in the shop. So super excited about that. Let's unbox these and, you know, see what we got in here. Sweet, I'm super excited about this. I don't own a lot of air tools, or a lot of battery powered tools. I own a ton of air tools, but air is kind of annoying. The air compressor's always on, whatever. I kind of wanted some battery tools to add to the collection. So the guys at Acme Tools were kind enough to hook me up with a bunch of Milwaukee products. So let's see what they sent over. Oh man, it's like Christmas. Ooh, we got the Sawzall. Gonna need that for sure. Ooh, this is what I'm most excited for. The battery band files. These are sweet. I've got a bunch of air ones like this, but they're not that good. But I've heard these ones are great. A little 1/4 inch die grinder, a battery ratchet. Ooh, oh yeah, the impact. Use this like every day. Yo, no way. The boombox? Oh my God. We got a grinder. Another like cutoff tool. That thing's pretty sweet. Some batteries. But we got one more box. We're not done yet. All right, we got more batteries. Gotta have the batteries for sure. we got, oh, the drill kit, the double drills. Perfect. You can never have too many drills. And one more battery. Perfect. So many batteries, I love it. I'm always running out of battery. Sweet, I can't wait to put these to work. These are gonna be awesome, especially this boombox. Thank you, Acme Tools, for hooking us up. I'll actually have a affiliate link in the bio of this video. You can go shop, I think get a discount. All right, anyways, back to this. I'm gonna throw these in our Vapor Honing Technologies blaster, clean these up, and then we're gonna see how much we gotta hone them. All right, we got our cylinders all cleaned up. We got our new pistons here. This motor is a stroker, so we have to use these S&S stroker pistons. See, they got the shorter skirt on them and everything. Expensive little pistons, but we're gonna measure those and then see how much we need to take off and get these all fitted up. All right, we got our micrometer here. We're gonna measure these pistons. All right, 3.652 is what we're looking for. So we'll get our dial bore gauge and get that set up. All right, dial bore gauge, we're gonna set it to our micrometer setting. All right, zeroed out. So we've only got a little over 10 thousandths to take off these cylinders, so we're just gonna hone that on our hone rather than boring. Let's take that over there and let's do that. All right, the hone is all set up. We got the cylinder in there. On our mandrel, we got our rough stones in to take off lots of material. And then we'll go back in and finish it up with some finer stones. We finished getting our cylinders honed up, but I didn't film too much of that process because my hands are all oily. It's hard to move the camera around, but you get the idea. We honed these to fit our piston plus our clearance, which is about 3.5 thousandths for these S&S pistons. So we're all good to go there. I'm just getting everything cleaned up, and then we're gonna go onto the heads and get those cleaned up. Here they are after honing. Hard to see, but we got some nice cross hatching in there. So yeah, they're within spec and nice and round. So these will do great. Give him, you know, a lot longer life on his motor than that rusty frickin' surface finish that was in there before. Yeah, I don't really know what was going on, but when I took the rocker boxes off, all this junk was in there and just kind of came down into everything. So I'm gonna clean these up good. There's a lot of carbon buildup on them as well. So we're gonna blast these. So I'll kind of give you guys a little before and after. You know, this is before, and then I'll blast them and show you guys what they look like. Gotta bust open this electric ratchet, try that baby out. Ooh. Thing's got some torque. That one. Oh, that's nice. All right, pull this apart. All right, here they are. Definitely got some miles on them. You You can see right there too, there's some water sitting on that valve. Nice little rust pocket. All right, all blasted up, nice and clean. We're gonna check our guides now, and we measured our valves, and they're about 0.376, and the intakes are about 375.5. So we got a 377 gauge pin here, which should give us our correct clearance. And we just kind of see if it fits. No crazy back and forth slop. Feels good in both of them. That's nice. And yeah, all good on there. So the guides are good. The valves are good. I measured them all the way up for wear. They're still pretty new. They're kibble white, so it looks like somebody was in here recently. But a little bit of wear. The nitriding's starting to wear on this one a little bit. But yeah, these are good. We can throw these back together. Well, I happened to see this guide poking up just a little bit. So I decided to see how loose it was. And, you know, it's coming right out. So your valve guide should not do that. So looks like we're gonna have to get an oversized guide, and then we'll have to cut this seat as well to match our new guide. So looks like it's gonna take a little bit longer to get this done. Gotta order a guide in. All right, digging in my stash, I actually found one. A Goodson guide. It's bronze, but that's fine. We'll throw that in there. So I gotta throw the head in the oven, warm that up, pound that sucker in, and then ream it and hone it and get the fitment right, and then we can put it back together. Pop this in the oven so we can get this heated up, and I'm going to throw our valve guide in the freezer. The combination of heat and cold makes this valve guide go in nice. We got about 4 thousandths of a press fit, so we're going to smack that baby in there. So yeah, here's the little oven I use. It's a little 220 oven. It's actually perfect for doing cases and cylinders. So I'll pop that guy in there, let it heat up for 30, 40 minutes, and then we'll put that valve guide in there. All right, well, while that's in the oven, I'm going to assemble this other head since that one's good to go. Put the valves back in, new valve guide seals, all that. Got our valve. A little assembly lube on there. Can't put her in dry. That's nice. Got our new valve guide seal. Valve guide seal. Whack on there. Perfect. We bored out our collars, so those just fit right over that valve guide seal. So yeah, I just bore you can buy them, but I just bore these on the lathe. Just open them up, and then they fit right over your valve guide seal. Shut. Oopsie. All right, one's in there. I always give them a little tap. Make sure those are seated. All right, we are going to check our ring gaps here while we're waiting for our head to heat up. Looking at the info from S&S now. So it looks like we want to take our bore times 4.5 thousandths. So our bore was 3.6433 times 0.0045. So we're looking at 16 thou. We would like our ring gap to be at. For our top ring, and then our second ring, we want that 4 to 8 thousandths bigger, and then our oil ring is a minimum 15 thousandths. So let's check those out. Let me find some feeler gauges. All right, so we got our top ring. We'll slip that in. I always use the piston to kind of push it down and center it up. And let's see what we got here. Here is a 16 thousandths. Okay, we're good there. Let's check our other. A little tight. Let's see where we're at. Might have to file it a little bit. All right, got our little ring filer tool here. Just gonna take off just a little. Then you always want to take your little file and just deburr it. You don't want any burrs on there, no sharp edges. All right, we're good on that one. Perfect. Alright, there's our piston with our rings all assembled on there. You always want to make sure your ring gaps are 180 out from each other. So one there, where they end. All of them. You want to make sure they're all staggered. You don't want them towards the side of your wrist pin hole. You just want them front and center, 180 degrees from each other, always. Alright, here's our head from the oven. Super hot. I'm going to go grab the valve guide. Alright, here's our frosty valve guide from the freezer. Got our little stand here. So, gotta go quick. Beautiful. There she is. Went right in like a charm. Now we got to let that cool down for a long time. And we can ream the guide and cut the seat and then call it a day on that job. Test our valve in there. Feels nice. We're going to use some of this red dye here to mark up our seat so we can see where we're cutting. So now we put in our expanding mandrel here. That'll be the pilot for our valve seat cutter. So we need 2 hands for this. Alright, get that nice and tight. And then here's our cutter. We're going to get that in there. We're going to move our cutters out a little bit just to get them where we want them to cut. Alright, that should do it. And these are the best things ever. If you don't have one of these for your knee-way cutters, you're just hurting your hand. The plastic one it comes with sucks. This is the best upgrade. With the little crank handle, you just freaking crank it. Do a little light cut, see where we are. Oh, and we're actually perfect. We don't even have to cut that much. Sometimes when you put a new guide in there, it's all goes in all sorts of crooked, and you got to cut quite a bit to get that seat angle to show up. But we're looking pretty good here. So we can see there's our cut. We've got a nice concentric cut all the way around. Nice surface for our valve to seat on. It should be good. I might narrow it up just a bit, but I think that's pretty good. Alright, now I always like to check and see where the valve is riding on the seat. So I take some of this blue dye I got here and just kind of go along the valve face here. Just kind of goop it up. Basically just dyed grease. Throw it in here. Swirl it around a bit. There you can see that our valve is hitting all the way around, so it should seal up nice. It's touching all the way around concentrically, so we should be good on that one. All right, we'll reassemble this guy. All right, we got our new pistons on here. We're gonna put the cylinders on. And just like that. All right, one more. There we go. Cylinders are on. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up today. Heads are done, fully assembled. We're going to assemble them on the bike and get everything back together. So we'll do that right now. That's a wrap on this one. We got the top end back on, carb, push rods, exhaust, all that. So it's all back together. He's gonna take it home. He's gotta use it for something. He's gonna bring it back later for us to finish up. But yeah, top end is good now. Not all full of rust like it was. But yeah, that wraps up this job for now. On to the next one. If you like this kind of stuff, let me know in the comments, and also like and subscribe. And there's always something to fix around here, so I'm just gonna start making videos on all of them. So